But it is engineering that changes the world. With that lovely quote, I bid a welcome to this week's edition of Engineering and You on your super love station OGBC 90.5 FM. My name is Tim Tope Babalola. Engineering and You is proudly sponsored by engineer Mrs. Fumilayo Waid Adekojo and powered by the Nigerian Society of Engineers, NSE, Abeokuta branch. On this week's edition of the program, we look forward to meeting another guest on this. I must tell you this lovely evening that our guest is already sitting in the studios this lovely evening. He is engineer Adewale Sahid Oguntade. Engineer Oguntade attended the prestigious Abeokuta Grammar School and he bagged a bachelor's degree in engineering from the Olabisi Olabanjo University, OOU, Agobuye. Our guest also attended Metropolitan School of Business and Management, London, United Kingdom, for a master's degree in project management. He has a certification from International Facility Management Association, IFMA, Houston, USA. He is a registered engineer by the Council for the Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria. That is correct. Our guest is a corporate member of many professional organizations such as member Nigerian Society of Engineers, MNSE, member Nigerian Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers, NIEEE, fellow Association of Applied Information Management Professionals, AIMP, and fellow Institute of Professional Managers and Administrators, IPMA, among others. Engineer Adewale Sahid Oguntade is the managing partner of Westmorelands and Co., an engineering solutions deployment firm, and he is the executive director at Combs Nigeria Limited, an engineering construction company. Engineer Adewale Sahid Oguntade, you're welcome to Engineering and You on OGBC 90.5 FM.
Thank you very much. Good evening.
Okay, now let us start. Who is an electrical electronics engineer and what are the potentials in this area of engineering?
Before I go to mention who an electrical electronics engineer is, may I quickly just say that electrical electronics engineering itself is a branch of engineering that is concerned with the practical applications of electricity in all its forms. That includes the use of electromagnetic spectrum and the application of such devices as integrated circuits and transistors and a few other components that we call electronics. So now saying who an electrical electronics engineer is, that would be that professional who has that professional knowledge and the technical know-how of application of what I just mentioned earlier to be electrical electronics engineer.
Then what are the potentials in this area of engineering? We've talked about EE engineering. What are the potentials in this area?
The potentials are very great. It depends on the aspect with which you're looking at it. Let me quickly refresh your memory and say that the very first practical application of electrical engineering was done as far back as 1837 with the invention of the telegraph. The telegraph, which the military used so very well before the advent of pager, before the advent of mobile telephony and all of that. You know, I'm saying 1837, and that was invented by Samuel F.B. Morse. You know, so if you look at what they've used electrical engineering to do as far back as 1837, which is going to be close to 200 years in another 15 years or so.
Yes.
So you then look at yourself that, okay, what other inventions have come since then? I've mentioned pager, I've mentioned telephony system, and a host of others. So when you are mentioning potentials as regards military inventions or military use, there is a lot. As regards development for a particular nation, there is. As regards for educational system, there is. As regards individual personal and self-development in terms of we, the professionals who has gone to read electrical electronics engineering. The potentials is just too numerous and great. I mean, we're talking about, it is like saying electrical and electronics engineering is our existence. Basically, that's what we're talking about. So whatever potential you can think about in terms of our existence, there's no limit to it. You will agree with me that 10 years ago, where Android Android mobile phone system is today, wasn't where we was. Some 10 years ago, we're still talking about BlackBerry.
Yes.
You know, we're still talking about some Samsung blue face phone and all of that. See where we are after 10 years. Some 10 years ago,
we're talking about Alcatel.
Alcatel, you must have a computer before you can do something. But now, almost all of the Android systems now have computer system embedded in them, whereby you can do a lot of office works and a lot of automation works and a lot of things to do without even getting to see your system. You can even print for your mobile system now. So the potential is just too numerous and unlimited.
If you just tuned in, the program is Engineering and You on OGBC 90.5 FM. For those listening to us right now, if you want to be part of the program or you want to ask our guest any question, do you have any suggestion as well? You can call 0803 437 9453. 0803 437 9453 or 0815 032 0226. On each edition of Engineering and You, we have equally come up with something, a question for the day, for young engineers to be those people, prospective admission seekers, as well as secondary school students that want to partake on this program. On each edition of the program, we've also created a platform for you to be part of it. Do you want to answer the question for the day? Definitely you can today. What is the hardest natural substance on earth? The question once again, what is the hardest natural substance on earth? You can call 0803 437 9453. And do not forget to also ask questions from our guest. Once again, our guest is Engineer Oguntade, Mnse. Engineer Oguntade, engineering has different areas of specialization.
Yes.
What makes engineering, especially electrical and electronics engineering, lucrative and important to national development?
Thank you for that beautiful question. I always tell people, there's this debate amongst us engineers wanting to say civil engineering is the best, electrical electronics engineering is the best, mechanical engineering is the best, and all of that. Fine, all of us we're in the business of making the world a better place, And as we were taught, engineering in society, an engineer is a problem solver. So that's why with an engineer, you don't say a no, you don't say something is impossible. You just must get a way around it, resolve it, and get going. So when you now mention electrical electronics engineering, I do tell people the greatest invention of all time is that's the study of electromagnetism. Electromagnetism is the reason a lot of technological advancements came about. Your airplane that is suspending in the space and flying is only possible because of electromagnetism. Your telephone system where you are using mobile phone to call somebody in America is because of electromagnetism. Even your microwave oven is electromagnetic. Even your television system is electromagnetism. And where is that invention studied? It's under electrical electronics engineering. That's why it's so difficult to enter any organization or corporation. When you look at their maintenance or facility management unit, the first set of guys you see there called are the electrical and electronics guys. These are the guys who manage your computer systems. It is you people in the outer world that see computer engineering. Computer engineering is also an aspect of electrical and electronics engineering. Because when we mention electrical engineering, there are basically two areas that differentiates them. That's the heavy current and the light current. Under the light current, we have all the automations, the telecommunications, the high CT. Then under the heavy current is where we have the power, which is what you people outside will know as electricity. That's the core thing you think is electrical, but then it's more than that. So it is the hub piece. No other aspect of engineering you can do without electrical electronics engineering. If a mechanical engineer invents or wants to work with a mechanical machine, there will be an electrical angle and an electronic angle to it. The same way, you must have heard that an aircraft can fly on autopilot. What about autopilot? It's electrical and electronics engineering. Everything, all other aspects of engineering still prop on electrical and electronics engineering.
Engineering and You on OGBC 90.5 FM. Once again, our guest is engineer Adewale Sahid Oguntade, MNSA. You can call 003 437 9453. Once again, 0803 437 9453. Now, Engineer Oguntade, want to go to the area that some secondary students, school students fear the most. Some of our guests on this program, they've often said that mathematics is not a difficult subject. But it is a fact that most secondary school pupils run from engineering because of one particular subject called mathematics. What, in your opinion, about mathematics is it that is making it a core subject for engineering?
Thank you very much. It is impossible for you to read engineering without having a very broad knowledge and understanding of mathematics. What does mathematics do for engineering students in the course of their study? Mathematics helps broaden your brain, opens your mind, gives you access to fast thinking, makes you to understand faster than any other situation, And engineering is about modeling, designing. Whether you want to solve a problem, in fact, all of engineering designs are basically to solve problem. Like an example, there's bad communication. You want to give them a satellite phone, or you want to make masts to boost their cellular networks, or there's no good and potable water supply. You want to do boreholes, or you want to do some water piping from, we will say, water corporation into their homes, like our governor is doing right now, or a lot of issues. It is about problem solving. So now, before you can solve a problem, you have to go into core modeling and designing. And you can only design in engineering using mathematics. That is why a typical engineer will brag and tell you that there are some languages in the world that you don't need to understand each other's mother tongue before you speak it. The language of engineering, which is basically design. That's why you can design something in Nigeria and an engineer in Australia will see your drawings and understand what you have done. So now, to achieve those designs, you need to do modeling. You need mathematics to do your calculations. And we are not just talking about mathematics here. We're talking about differential equations, algebra, calculus, and basically statistics. Those are the core aspects of mathematics that we put together called engineering mathematics. So like I've said, for you to be able to resolve anything or solve any problem, you need to bring it to bear. You need to use it. You just cannot run away from it. Yes, secondary school students feel it is difficult, or they tend to run away from it because they don't understand it, and partly probably because of the way our academic system is structured and all of that. Let me give you a real life experience of mine. Earlier in my days in the university, I was a student of mathematical science at the then Ogun State University before it was changed to Olabisi Onabanjo University. So I was studying mathematical science, though actually I wanted to be an engineer, but it was the first offer that came, and I was studying mathematical science. So in mathematical science department, I was thinking I was a king in mathematics. I never knew I was just doing ordinary mathematics, until when the opportunity to cross to engineering came, and I crossed to engineering, and I was made to face engineering mathematics. It was when I knew that engineering mathematics is not even in the league of the most advanced mathematics that I did in a mathematics science department. So, but when you have your mind set on achieving something, you're definitely going to get it done, and you're going to achieve it very well. So when our students at the secondary school level tend to run away from me, It is partly because of the way our academic system is structured, and partly our delivery system, the way our teachers deliver. You must like your teacher to know his or her subject. These are the ways, and these are the things, the aspect I think our government need to look into so that we can get it better. The whole world now, let me say recently, all of us do not really know the real importance of information communications technology. But COVID-19 brought it as a new normal. Now we hold Zoom meetings. Before, like 10, 12 years ago, all we had was Skype, that we used to do video calls and video meetings. But now Zoom is there. Every Tom, Dick, and Harry has it. When you sit on a committee or you are in an association, you can reduce your meetings to 6 times a year and do the remaining 6 times via Zoom and all of that. It was COVID-19 that brought that new normal to us.
And we embraced it.
And we embraced it, you know. And a lot of guys are eating in Europe, across America, with ICT, you know. So when we do not invest in the curriculum, when we do not invest in the academic, when we do not teach our younger ones and catch them young and embed in them the interest of engineering because they're running away from mathematics, we're the one at the losing end. Because all over the world now, like I said, ICT is becoming quite lucrative. Across US, across UK, across Europe, there's now this balance that you can work from home, working from home. Before COVID, it wasn't so popular, or it was even rather non-existent.
Yeah, you have to go to your place of work. You have
to go to your place of work, but now you can work from home. You know, when you let all these students know that when you have that knowledge, you can always work from home, you can always, then they will embrace it, they will love it. Because for you to be able to do a course, you have to love it. Like I said, all my life I've wanted to be an engineer. But when the opportunity to read math science came, I grabbed it as a stepping stone. Then when the bigger picture came, I went for it. And you know, so it was because there was the opportunity. It was because the system was probably still beautiful then, but now it's not anymore as it is. So we need to just ensure that our delivery system is like abroad, the way they do it. Look at STEMA, science, technology, engineering, mathematics, and they are just introducing art to it. It used to be STEM, science, technology, engineering, mathematics. Now some people are adding art to it to make it STEM. If we can follow the STEM directives and regulations, we'll get our delivery systems right, my brother.
Wonderful. No, behind the scene the other time, you talked about how you were able to conquer the fear of mathematics. Then you talked about steps. When it comes to secondary school students, you know, particular answer, but steps to getting it. I don't know, maybe you can just share with our people who are actually listening to us right now.
What I mean is, you're not supposed to be afraid of mathematics, because mathematics is probably the only subject, let me not call it a course at that level that we are now. It's probably the only subject that they don't mark the final answer. Your teacher or your examiner marks your steps that takes you to the final answer. So it is not about cramming, or it is not about putting wuru to the answer like we always say on your script. It is about getting your steps right, following it bit by bit till you get to the final. It is very possible that you will miss the final answer, but you still get over 60-70% out of the marks apportionable to that very question, because it is mathematics. When you know the steps, it's already shown that you know how to arrive at it. A lot of reasons may be responsible for why you did not get your answer correctly. You may be under pressure. It may be that you missed something, just a 2 times 2 or whatever in the process, or you just missed a symbol, or you just missed one equation or something. But when you get your steps right, you get your answers. It is only the final mark for the answer that you've not gotten. That, I mean, if you get your steps right, you get your marks correctly. That, I mean, your examiner will give you your marks. It is only probably the final answer. Maybe let's say a question is 10 marks. Steps, everything could be like 8 marks. Your final answer could just be 2 marks. So it's possible when you get your steps right, you still get like 7/10 on that single question.
And one is good with that.
And you know, and you're good with that still, and 7/10 is 70%.
Engineering and you on OGBC 90.5 FM. Our guest is Engineer 25. 0320226. If you're interested in answering the question of the day for secondary school students as well as prospective admission seekers, please do not hesitate to call these lines as well. And the question is, what is the hardest natural substance on earth? Now, Engineer Oguntade, gradually as we are coasting home on this edition of the program, the young people of today, what they want is fame and money. Do you think they can get all these? Fame and money, these two, in the field of engineering?
It's not only the young people, everybody loves money. We all want money. Just that what I always tell people is be legitimate. There's nobody who doesn't want money. Money is good. But be legitimate. Work for it. Get it. Don't
beat around the bush,
exactly.
or
Don't
cut
cut corners to get it. You need money, I need money, all of them need money. Even our parents need money. Even the aged, they need money. Yes, when you stick to engineering, you can make money and have fame. You know, the very first way to get to fame via engineering is by inventions. And invent something. During COVID-19, there was this practice that you must wash your hands so often so that the virus doesn't get transmitted all about from people to people. And you notice that all of a sudden, you just notice that most of the institutions we go to, there's this something that this device that they designed. It will have tank, washing it with pedestals, you press it. It wasn't in existence. Somebody invented it. Somebody invented it. I know somebody came to Abeokuta branch of Mnse to propose that and then give us how he came about it and all of that. So, if a country where all of those celebrated and well celebrated, the gentleman who invented that will probably be in a very great place now where they will be expecting and encouraging him to do more inventions. As little as it is, it's an invention. You go on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and all of it, you see young guys who make motor cars from pumping machines, from motorcycle scraps, from this, from that. You know, those I don't know. Don't they have the fame yet? They have it, just that the money is not yet there. So that's why if the system can prop them, encourage them, and give them better, then they will get it. So in engineering, you can come about a lot of fame, you can come about money. Because imagine, okay, see Innocent Motors now. Innocent Motors is beginning to sell motors. Only God knows. I was talking to a friend yesterday. A car he bought for 14 million like 4 years ago is now about 27 million naira. And he's just saying anybody who has a car now must just maintain his car. This is when we know the value of our used cars. You understand? So I just mentioned that how much Innocent will be making out of automobile business that he is doing. There are some guys working there. Innocent is just a businessman. There are engineers working with him. Those are the guys. They will take credit for it, of course. It is their design and it is their work. So fame comes from hard work and consistency. So our young ones should not just feel they can become rich overnight. And they don't have to think fame will just come. No, by being consistent at what you're doing, persistence. Let me rather use that. Keep doing it. In as much as you're legitimate, keep doing it. And
if you can invent, patenting will definitely set it.
You understand? And someday you hit it.
Okay, now before I let you go, but quickly, how, with your wealth of experience, you've been to different countries around the world. How do you describe the global job market for an engineer?
It is massive. It is quite massive. Qatar is hosting the World Cup right now. As at 2010, when Qatar went for the bid, United States of America was also in the bid. United States of America already have all the stadia to be used in hosting the World Cup. Qatar have no single stadium. They only propose and they show them models. We want to build 12 different stadia. This is what it will look like. They show them all their design intent. And one thing happened and led to another, and they won it. Between 2010 And 2022, 12 years, Qatar built all those infrastructures. It is some people who did it. Even myself, I attempted, if not Baba Obasanjo, who held me back and gave me a job in Nigeria. I tried to go work in Qatar as a project manager because I knew I was going to come back a multi-millionaire. You know, I tried. But because I already have a contract running as a project manager to Olusegun Obasanjo Presidential Library, I couldn't leave. You know, and then my word is my bond. I had to just wait and do that. But a lot of our guys left and they did that. And today they are better off.
Smiling to the bank.
Of course. So,
and the wealth of experience is also increasing.
Exactly. So all over the world, engineers are one of the highest paid. There's a high level need for engineers across Europe, Finland, Germany, France, UK, USA, and Australia. So all of those places, they need engineers. Even in Nigeria, we need engineers. Everywhere, we are the center of existence. You can't do without us. You need us for your even before civilization come. Our old forefathers were engineers. They made hoe, they made cutlass, they made traps. All the blacksmiths of those old days, they were engineers.
Engineer Oguntade, I wish this conversation will continue. But I want to put you on the spot for just a few seconds before I let you go. What is that particular thing in your life as an engineer that can attract a young fellow to choose a career in engineering? Just a few seconds before we go.
Thank you. In my father's mate and his own uncle's mate, before you could see a professional registered engineer, will be in his 50s. But now things are changing. I became a chartered engineer that is registered with Korean to practice in my 30s. Wow. And as I was thinking that I had achieved something, I already have people that I mentor. One of my mentors, I'll mention his name if permitted. One of my mentors, he became a registered engineer at 28. Wow. So meaning before he's 40, he would have gotten to the peak in engineering. You know,
you're cutting short on the program now. Just a few seconds and I'll just release it.
Yeah, thank you. Engineering is the hub, the centerpiece of existence. It is the core of inventions, and we cannot run away from it. Try and ensure that you train an engineer.
Try and ensure that you train an engineer. That is how we draw the curtains on this week's edition of the program. Special thanks to Femi Akinola, Bumi Bakile, as well as Francis Enriosho. The producer of this program is Abiodun Adelodun, not leaving out the executive producer, Tony Shubason. Engineering and You is proudly sponsored by Engineer Mrs. Fumilayo Wahid Adekojo, FNSC, and powered by the Nigerian Society of Engineers. Thank you sincerely, Engineer Adewale, Sahid, Oguntade. Wish you all the best in all your work.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you sincerely. My name is Temitope Babalola. Please do for a fresh edition of Engineering and You. Please do enjoy the rest of your Monday.